Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning, episode 380, back on the topic of the MLB. Today, I'm going to be bringing you 6 more bold takes for the 2021 season. Again, if you haven't checked out my first video, there are 6 more bold takes there for you. But first, before we get into the bold takes for today, my question today is a rather recent question of who won the 2020 National League and American League MVP. Again, if you know the answer, comment below. Again, 2 answers, one for American League, one for National League. If you know the answer, comment below. And if you don't, stick around till the end of the video. But let's get right into some more bold takes for this upcoming season. My first is going to be involving the New York Yankees, and my bold take is that they will miss the American League Conference Series again. Of course, they missed last year. They fell short to the Braves in the divisional round, and then the year before, they lost to the Astros in the ALCS. But this coming year, I have the Yankees missing the ALCS yet again for the second straight season, despite their heavily stacked roster. I mean, they really have put together a good roster, and when you look at Judge, Aaron Hicks, DJ LeMahieu, Luke Voigt, Gio Urshela. I can't say enough about their hitting lineup is very good. Gary Sanchez and Judge, I think I already said him, but this team can swing the bat 100%, and I have you have no reason to believe that they will not go to the World Series, but I feel like this has been the feeling for the last several seasons. They have since gotten rid of Adam Ottavino. They traded him to the Red Sox. We know Aroldis Chapman, despite his insane talent and velocity, he struggles in the playoffs. And then they have also acquired Corey Kluber, which I do think is a good arm, but he hasn't really been good in my opinion since he was with the Indians. So I have the Yankees having a good regular season, a 100-win season, I think, and then coming into the playoffs as one of the favorites out of the American League, but falling short in the divisional round, I think, to somebody like Chicago or the White Sox, of course, or the Blue Jays, who I have, as I spoke about in the other video, I have Blue Jays, White Sox, ALCS. So I do have the Yankees falling short and missing the ALCS this coming season. My next bold take is that the Padres are going to disappoint, going to let fans down. That's kind of a broad statement, but when you look at the Padres roster, what they put together, their infield, like I just spoke about in a previous video, and their $812 million infield with Kim at second and Hosmer and Tatis and Machado at third. This is a team that is stacked. Plus, they had Joe Musgrove, they had Blake Snell, they had Yu Darvish. This team has all the tools, but the Padres are notorious for not winning big games, not winning championships. They got swept last year by the Dodgers. The Padres are simply going to Padre, as I say, this coming season. That's what I think they're going to do. This is a great team that I just don't see living up to what their roster seems to be capable of. So Padres fans, I'm sorry. If I'm being honest, I'm rooting for the Padres to do something. I think they have been in a drought postseason-wise for so long, and I just don't see that changing this coming year, despite the pure talent they have on the roster. But don't get me wrong, I would love to see them do something good, but I just don't see them doing very much this postseason. Now, they're not going to miss the playoffs. They're not going to go out in the wild card round, I don't think. But this is a team that I don't see making even to the NLCS, despite the raw talent on their roster. My next bold take comes in the American League, in that the Angels are going to win the American League West. I think that this is very realistic. You have the Rangers and the Mariners that I just don't think are really in contention. You have the A's, who have since lost Marcus Semien, Liam Hendricks, have really fallen off. They traded Chris Davis. I'm not sure to where, but they have also gotten rid of Chris Davis. So the A's have fallen off. So you really look at it between the Astros and the Angels for this division. And I think that the Astros, losing Springer already, Michael Brantley, a free agent, I don't believe he has gone anywhere yet, but Michael Brantley, really sweet swing from the left side. He's a great addition to that team that if they lose, will hurt them. So the Astros, I think, are just on a descent. They struggle with starting pitcher. What do you got? You got Lance McCullers. There's Dominican guy from the left side. I can't think of his name, but the Astros struggle right now with pitching staff. They're losing outfielders. They're losing a bat in Brantley and Springer, of course. Now you're still left with Correa and Altuve and Alex Bregman. So this team is not going to win 60 games only, but this is a team that I think the Astros are going to struggle to stay much above 500, and I think that the Angels are going to win the playoffs. Look at what they have. They have good starting pitching: Rylan Bundy, Andrew Heaney, Griffin Canning, Jamie Barria. I think this team Pitching wise is set, and of course you got best outfielder, best player in the league, and Mike Trout, number 1 ranked overall in MLB top 100. That's pretty unanimous. You got Anthony Rendon at third. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. He's a top 10 third baseman. Actually, you can pretty much everyone can agree on that. You can make arguments for top 5 if you really want to. You got Shohei Ohtani, the two-way superstar, back to pitch, back to hit, do whatever. And I think this Angels team is going to be good, and I think they're going to win their division and actually make some impact in the playoffs for the first time in Trout's career. My next bold take is kind of really bold, but I have Mike Soroco of the Atlanta Braves being in the talk for the National League Cy Young. This is a guy that was super sought after coming out. He was a Canadian guy. Last year he pitched some. Sorry, the year before he pitched some. Last year he was hurt in August, an Achilles injury where you could like physically see his calf like get, I don't know, snap, whatever snapped, and you could just see it move. It was pretty bad. But 2019, I think we can expect to see similar stats to what we saw then, now this year, which is a high 2s, mid 2s ERA, very, very low walk rate, and a lot of ground balls, a lot of outs. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys. His strikeout rate's actually a little bit below average. But, I mean, you look at his pitches, he throws a 2-seam, a 4-seam, a slurve, of course, a curveball, and a slider, and a good circle change. And I just really think that those four pitches mixed together, I think he's a very, very talented pitcher, and I think that he's going to have a great comeback season coming off a really unfortunate injury. My next bold take comes with the Mets, and I think the Mets are going to win 95 games this season. I think the Mets have made huge improvements in their roster, mainly because of James McCann and Francisco Lindor mainly, but you look at the roster, you got, like I said, Lindor, James McCann behind the plate, Polar Bear, Pete Alonso, home run champion, home run derby champion a few years ago. You got Jeff McNeil, who swings it well at second base. Michael Conforto in the outfield. I love his lefty swing. J.D. Davis at third, Pilar in the outfield also. So this is a very, very solid Mets team that I think, with adding one of the best shortstops in the league, I think wins 95 baseball games. Number 5, I have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. winning the American League batting title. I think this is it's bold because he's young and hasn't shown a whole lot, but it's also not bold because you see how good his swing is and how talented he is, and he's just a very good baseball player. His career right now in the big leagues, through 183 games, he's hitting .269. Before that, in the minor leagues, he hit .331, which goes to show he has not shown his full potential. He's still young. He's barely got a full season of games in his career. Like I said, 183 games. So this is a guy that has obviously more potential than what he's shown, and he's already shown that he's got talent. Last year's batting title in the American League with the Yankees was DJ LeMahieu, who hit .364. Of course, batting title goes to the highest average in the league. Now, last year, through 60 games, of course, the smaller the sample size of games, the higher the average could be. So 364 is very high, but I think that's an unrealistic number for this coming season. I think a better number to compare him to would be the year before with Tim Anderson, who hit 335. I think Vladdy can do that if he lives up to his true potential. So I got Vladdy winning the American League batting title. And my last bold take is that Christian Yelich continues to struggle. This coming season will not be a bounce back season for him, and I hate to say that because I love Christian Yelich. He's such a good player, outfielder, hitter, all the above, but I just don't think that he's going to be able to bounce back to where he was in 2018, 2019, winning MVP both those years. Of course, two-time MVP in 18 and 19 combined. He hit 327 with 80 home runs. Last year, he hit 205, and his strikeout percentage jumped up to almost 31% of at-bats ending in strikeouts. Of course, he had the back issues, the broken kneecap. He hit the foul ball off his kneecap. So Christian Yelich is just not 100%, and I don't think that's going to change this year. Sorry, Brewers fans, but we just saw last year, every at-bat he just looked off, and I know players have struggling seasons, and I know last year was a weird year, coronavirus, 60 games. I believe all of that is true, or I know all that's true, and I would like to see Yelich come out on fire like we've seen in previous seasons, but I just don't think that'll happen. Guys, those are my six more bold takes. Comment below if you disagree or agree with any of them. But that's all for the video. The question today, the answer is your National League MVP last year was Freddie Freeman. American League was Jose Abreu of the White Sox. Thanks for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.